What's going on, guys? Cooper the Reseller coming at you from Omaha, Nebraska. And in this video, I want to talk about what are the best apps to sell clothes on. There's a ton of selling apps out there, some that are geared specifically towards clothes, some that are not geared specifically towards clothes. And I've sold on quite a few of them, so I just wanted to take you through which apps I think are the best to sell clothes on. So let's go ahead and jump right in, starting with my favorite app. And I know it's not everybody's favorite app, but it is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful apps to sell clothes on, and that would be eBay. And everyone's heard of this app. A lot of people don't like selling on eBay because it's more complicated. The listing process is a lot harder or more tedious than other selling apps, but just recently eBay came out and said that they're simplifying the listing process, so that's something to keep an eye on. But why do I think that eBay is one of the best selling apps for clothes? I would say it's the most versatile and has the most customers. I sell on quite a few different apps, and by far eBay always gets me the most sales, and I do believe that's because it has the most customers compared to all the different apps out there. I will say that it's not a great listing experience. Is lacking. The listing experience is lacking, but they are working on improving that. I think they've got tons of feedback back on that, but they are improving it. And another thing to keep in mind on these different selling platforms are the selling fees. So I'm going to try to mark those out as best as I can for you. On eBay, it's roughly a 14% selling fee. This includes your processing fee, payment processing fee, the eBay. There's a bunch of different fees on eBay, so it's hard to even name them all off. But the final value fee, when you sell an item, you have to pay a final value fee. That includes the insertion fee, but if you play your cards right, you don't have to pay the insertion fee. eBay will give you a certain amount of listings for free, or if you sell a bunch of items, I believe it's 50 or more in a month, it makes sense to buy an eBay store. But for the sake of simplicity in this video, it's roughly a 14% selling fee. And also, what I wrote first, it's the most versatile. When you think of eBay, you think of anything. It's not really geared specifically towards a certain niche, especially when it comes to clothing. You can sell men's clothing, women's clothing, shoes, jackets, shirts, vintage, streetwear, hype, anything on eBay. It's geared towards everything, whereas opposed to these other selling apps I'm going to go through is kind of geared towards specific niches when it comes to clothing and selling clothing. So let's go ahead and get to my number 2 recommended app, which is Mercari. I apologize in advance for this horrible handwriting. Why do I like Mercari? I like Mercari because it's basically a mini eBay. It's very versatile. It's not really focused in on any particular niche of clothing. You can sell anything on there. It's also a lot easier to list on Mercari than it is on eBay. It's very geared towards listing on mobile devices. It's also very easy to list on your desktop. It's very fast. It requires way less fields of information. The only con to Mercari is it does not have as big of a customer base as eBay. So selling things on Mercari might take a little bit longer than on eBay, but that's not always the case. And Mercari is really growing. They're pushing a lot of commercials and trying to get a lot of new customers on board to Mercari. So I definitely recommend giving Mercari a try. It's really easy to list on and very simple. As for the fees, they do a 10%, and they just changed this, 10% fee on whatever you sell, plus 2.9% plus 30-cent payment processing fee. So you're going to pay your 10% fee on the sale that you make plus 2.9% and 30 cents on the payment processing fee, which you'll find out that this is very standard across all the platforms. It's also on eBay, and that's what kind of rounds into that 14%. But as you can see, it's slightly less fees than eBay, at least for now. So that's something cool to keep in mind. But the difference between the fees, I would not let the fees alone make you determine what platform you're going to sell on, because in the end, it's all going to be pretty close to each other. You really just want to kind of figure out which platform you like listing on the best. And in my experience, that's what will give you the most success. And if you can, I recommend giving them all a try to figure out what feels best for you. And that's going to take us to the third platform, or third application, which is Poshmark. And this is the first one out of the three that I've mentioned so far that does have a good niche in the clothing market. And Poshmark is really focused on women's clothing. Women focused, I'm not sure if I spelled that right. Doesn't mean you can't sell men's stuff on there. I do sell men's stuff on Poshmark. Most of the stuff I do sell is men's stuff. But if you can sell women's stuff, there's a lot more women buyers on Poshmark and sellers. And just the overall vibe of the platform is very woman-like. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very woman-focused, in my opinion. It's also very easy to list on. Very mobile-focused. They like you using your app, your phone app, to list on. They keep innovating, adding new things. They just added Posh Stories, which is kind of like Snapchat Stories or Instagram Stories. So you can take little stories of items and tag your items in it, which I think is really cool. And Poshmark has a very unique advantage of shipping, which really helps out with heavier items. All right, so Poshmark has a $7.11 flat shipping fee. Shipping fee for anything under 5 pounds, greater than, less than 5 pounds. Yeah, so $7.11 flat shipping fee for anything under 5 pounds, which is crazy, because if you're trying to ship something priority mail, which this is priority mail, USPS priority mail, flat rate, anything under 5 pounds, a $7.11, which is going to be added on to the price of any of your listings. Poshmark makes the buyer pay the $7.11 flat shipping fee, and it will cover anything under 5 pounds, which is crazy, because if you try to ship, for example, shoes, it gives you a great advantage on. Shoes usually weigh more than 2 pounds, usually anywhere from 2 to 4 to 5 pounds if you're shipping boots. And if you try to pay for a shipping label normally for those, it can be anywhere from $8, usually up to $12, can even go up to like $16 or maybe even more, depending on how heavy and how big the packaging is, if you're just trying to buy a label straight up through USPS. So you could be saving $8 on a shipping label just by using Poshmark shipping, which is awesome. Now, it's kind of a disadvantage for anything under a pound, because anything under a pound, you're not going to be paying any more than $5 usually for USPS first class packaging. Usually on average, it's anywhere from $3 to $4 if you're shipping stuff under a pound. So they kind of get you that way, but it doesn't matter, because the buyers are always going to pay this flat shipping cost. It's built into the expectations when the buyers are buying items. So it's just something to keep in mind. And they also really encourage bundles, because if a buyer bundles items from your Poshmark closet, they only will pay this one $7.11 shipping fee. So if you sell 3 shirts, they only pay this one shipping fee. It encourages bundle sales, which I've noticed Mercari and eBay does not do a good job of encouraging bundle sales unless you manufacture that yourself, and still it's not as good as what Poshmark does, in my opinion. Also, for fees, you're going to be paying $2.95 per item if it's under 15 bucks. And if your sale's over 15 bucks, it's going to be a 20% fee on the sale price. That does not include shipping. So that's something to keep in mind. So the fees are a little bit higher on Poshmark than they are on Mercari and eBay, but you could be saving money on the shipping costs. That'll make up for it. Under 15 bucks, flat $2.95. So that's a interesting fee structure Poshmark has. Now, another app that I really like, and it's my most recent app, is Depop. Depop is a really fun and up-and-coming app. It's mostly focused on streetwear and vintage clothing. Streetwear / vintage. Man, this is looking really scribbly, ain't it? All right, streetwear and vintage. It's also focused more towards the younger crowd. Young crowd focused. Anything that's trending, in high school and college, anything that's trending clothes-wise, you're going to find on Depop, and usually you can command a higher price on Depop in my experience. Command higher prices. I've heard a really good expression with Depop, and the reason you can command higher prices on Depop is because it's the cool place to shop. For example, talking about buying a beer, you can go to the store and buy a beer super cheap, but when you're going to the bar, you're willing to pay way more than you're paying at the shop to get a beer because it's a cooler place to be. It's kind of that atmosphere aspect. If you're going to the bar, you're more than likely going to pay $5 for that beer, and you're not going to even complain about it. Same thing with Depop. It's the cooler place to shop. They have really unique items on there. They even have custom items on there. I highly recommend giving it a try selling your items on here, especially if you have streetwear and vintage items. Definitely a great place to sell your clothes. Fee-wise, 10%. 10% selling fee, and then it also is the 2.9% plus 30 cents transaction fee. So that's also something to keep in mind. So about 13-ish%, 14-ish%, similar to Mercari. You can also sell international on Mercari. You just have to put in you need to know how much it's going to cost you to ship internationally on Mercari. Sorry, my camera got messed up there. You're going to want to know how much it costs shipping label wise. Usually it's anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 bucks depending on how heavy your item is. Mercari, you cannot ship internationally. You cannot sell internationally as of now. Poshmark, the same thing. You cannot sell internationally as of now. eBay, you can sell internationally. So that's also something I like about eBay. These two, you can do international sales. And then those are the 4 main apps that I recommend selling on, that I've had really good success selling clothes on. Some honorable mentions. Grailed, which is really good for streetwear and hype items, streetwear and hype items, Supreme, that type of stuff. Definitely worth giving it a try on Grailed. It's kind of similar to Depop. It actually has a 9% fee. And then the 2.9% plus 30 cents payment processing fee, so it's 1% cheaper, but in my experience, I've had way more sales on Depop. It seems like there's better users on Depop. Unless you have a lot of hype items, then Grailed might be a good opportunity to try there. Grailed also does have international. So Grailed also does have international options there, but you're going to be paying a little more in fees. On my notes, it says plus 4%, plus another 30 cents or more depending on your location. So that's something you'd have to look into. It's a little bit more in fees if you're selling internationally on Grailed. Last two that I have, everyone knows about this one, the FB Marketplace. The Facebook Marketplace, I think that's the most up-and-coming selling platform. So my camera keeps getting turned around. Facebook Marketplace, you know, everyone was using OfferUp and Let Go, but I think Facebook Marketplace, everyone is getting on it. Everyone already has a Facebook account, and they finally introduced you the ability to sell stuff and ship stuff, and they can help you with the shipping label, which is awesome. Everyone already knows how to list on there. It's super easy to list on there, and there's not really a ton of competition if you're listing a lot of clothes on Facebook. So definitely worth giving a try. They do have a fee when I checked, and you can sell anything on Facebook. That's what I like about it. That's what I was going to say about these. You can only sell clothes on Poshmark. You can only sell clothes on Depop. Whoops. And you can only sell clothes on Grailed as far as I know. So those are clothes specific only, these three. Facebook Marketplace, you can sell more than clothes, but I think it's a really good emerging platform for selling clothes. If you do sell online on Facebook, there is a 5% selling fee. Which is still really good compared to all the other platforms. And then it also has a 40 cents minimum. Or a 40 cents minimum. So that's really low, really, really low. And they have good shipping rates last time I checked, and they make it just super easy. It's a really good platform to start on, in my opinion. These might be a little more advanced, but not too crazy. And then the most advanced for listing purposes would be eBay, but I think eBay can get you really good results as well. And then the last one I wanted to cover, the Real. This is the platform I would recommend if you wanted to sell luxury items. And it is consignment based, but they do really good work on the Real. And the commissions they will charge you, which they do charge kind of big commissions, is anywhere from 85% to 40%. And it's based on different price ranges, different buckets of prices that you can look up on there. But if you have like a Louis Vuitton purse to sell or a Gucci shoes or anything like that, they're really good at that. You won't have to worry about being scammed. They can handle that stuff. They can authenticate all of your items, which I think is really good. Authenticate the items. They'll do all the hard work because luxurious items can be a real pain to sell. You have to get all the angles, prove that it's real, figure out the right pricing, make sure it ships there safely. They do really good at doing that for you. So if you're trying to sell luxury items, I recommend trying the Real. You can also try Poshmark. If you hit a certain threshold of a price range, they will verify that an item is real for you, but you have to sell it to them, and I believe there's a fee involved with that. eBay is also starting to roll this out as well. I know they verify some stuff, but it's probably a lot more work to sell luxury items as compared to the Real. You do have to keep in mind what the consignment fee would be on the Real. But these are all of the apps that I recommend. I know there's more apps out there, but I think these are the hardest hitters right now. eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Depop, Grailed, Facebook Marketplace, and the Real. They're all great apps. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions based on these apps. If I was just starting out and I had no experience, I probably would start with Mercari because it's really easy. If I was a woman and I had a lot of cool women's clothes, cheaper clothes, I'd probably start out on Poshmark because it's really easy. If I was younger, maybe in high school, millennial, Gen Z, or whatever's upcoming next, I had a bunch of streetwear, a bunch of vintage clothes, I would definitely start on Depop. If I had a lot of streetwear hype stuff, more hype stuff than streetwear, I would probably start on Grailed. If I had a good combination of everything and I was really tech savvy and I felt good about listing on eBay, I definitely would start out on eBay. Uh, if I just wanted really easy listing, or if I didn't really want to ship anything, I would definitely start out on Facebook Marketplace. Probably gonna have to sell stuff cheaper than I could on the other platforms, but it's really easy and you can meet up with people or have them come pick up the items if you really don't want to ship. And if I had a bunch of luxury items, I definitely would be starting out on The RealReal. So there we have it. That's my list of the best apps to sell clothes on. I highly recommend giving them all a try to figure out which one you vibe with the best, which one gives you the most interaction with potential customers, and most importantly, which will give you the most sales, because that's what we're after. If you have any questions, like I said before, just put them in the comment section below and I'll try to help you out. If this video brought you any value, please smash the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.